Hello everyone! We often need words that make our speech more vibrant and expressive. But it's not the topic of our conversation, of our talk. Now let's talk about connectors that link such words and expressions. But, however, also, in spite of, despite, nevertheless. Connectors of contrast are used to join two opposing ideas. But what does it mean, opposing ideas or contrast? Some pictures can help you understand what it means. Opposing ideas. Is it 6 or is it 9? Blue is a real contrast to orange. They are two ideas. This or that. Okay, let's start with but. But used to show contrast between two ideas. I wanted to go for a walk, but it started raining. However, used to introduce a statement that contrasts with something that has been said. I wanted to go for a walk. However, it started raining. Although, used to introduce a subordinate clause that contrasts with the main clause. Although it was raining, I went for a walk. It doesn't mean anything for me. Although it was raining, I went for a walk. In spite of. Used to indicate that something happens regardless of a particular circumstance, followed by a noun or gerund. It's important. Followed by a noun or gerund. In spite of the rain, in spite of the rain, it's a noun, I went for a walk. Despite, similar to in spite of, also followed by a noun or gerund indicating contrast. Despite the rain, I went for a walk. Nevertheless, used to introduce a statement that contrasts with something that has been said, similar to however, but more formal. It was raining. Nevertheless, I went for a walk. Here are some tips to help you decide which word or phrase to use based on the context. Identify the relationship. If you want to show a contradiction or contrast between two ideas, use words like but, however, also, in spite of, despite, or nevertheless. What is the tip? Read and listen to various texts, books, articles, conversation to see how these words are used in context. It would be easier to remember them. Check the structure. Conjunctions. Use conjunctions such as but, however, although. I prepare a list of translation. I don't know what is your mother tongue, so I prepare the list of 8 examples. Spanish, French, German, Italian, Russian, Hebrew, Japanese, and Arabic. All of them are translation of the word conjunctions. Okay, go on. But used between two independent clauses. I like coffee, but I prefer tea. However, often starts a new sentence, but can also follow a semicolon. This one. This is a semicolon. I like coffee, however, I prefer tea. Although, introduce a clause, dependent. As usual, we can use although at the beginning of the sentence. Although is always followed by a subject plus verb. Although I like coffee, I prefer tea. Prepositional phrases in spite of and despite. Both followed by a noun, pronoun, or gerund. Gerund is the verb plus ing. In spite of being tired, I went for a walk. Despite feeling tired, I went for a walk. Consider formality. Nevertheless is more formal than but and however. Use it in academic or professional writing. It was late. Nevertheless, we decided to continue. Let's wrap up. Revise again. But is a conjunction. I like bananas, but I prefer apples. However, I like bananas, semicolon. However, comma, I prefer apples. Although I like bananas, I prefer apples. 2 prepositional phrases. In spite of, despite. In spite of the rain, we went out. And the last one, nevertheless, it's a conjunction again. It was raining. Nevertheless, we went out. Well, we had a talk about the connectors that are used to join two opposing ideas. See you again. Bye.